stick this frame of honey in there so they don't starve to death.
Okay, you did get one with honey.
Yeah, so we're going to keep them boxed up for a few days so that they get accustomed to the box.
It's a bee rescue.
That's amazing. There they are hanging out in the magnolia tree.
Alright, so we got, oh man.
Oh, don't think yours are going to fit in my hive.
What happened here?
We call that a length miscalculation.
Well,
it's one of the great things about being the builder. When you muck it up, you can just build everything else to fit.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in here crooked, and so they've got something to eat.
Right on.
And after they've gotten accustomed to the box and you turn them loose, you can pull that out and put your own frames in there so they don't build all kind of cross comb.
Yeah, and I was thinking about putting a feeder on there too. I was going to talk to you about that afterwards, because I knew this was going to be a problem.
This time of the year you won't need a feeder, but you can feed them that honey off that comb. You can just put it in a bowl or
right on,
or lay that up next to the hive. It'll attract the bumblebees in the Washington neighborhood too. But
okay,
they got to eat too, I guess.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
You wanna We did the shakedown. They were starting to build on these leaves here. So we're gonna watch for a little bit and make sure we got the queen.
Oh yeah, it didn't take them long to build something on those leaves, did it? While you're watching that, I'm gonna go over here and.
If the queen is up in the center comb, we may not have gotten her, so we'll let all these that are in the air close back up.
All right.
Make sure.
Well, that box is buzzing away. Yeah, they actually started moving in.
And so between these two leaves up here, they actually have a very small section of drawn out comb that they were working on.
Value in just cutting that little piece of limb off?
Yeah, I gotta leave it there for a minute. Okay. They're oriented to that spot now, so just to be sure that we got the queen and everything, we'll let them go to that spot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the big question. Is the queen still there, or is she in there?
See you later.
There, or in the box?
I'll probably sack these up.
So,
yeah.
Will you look for the crown, or is it
bigger?
Yeah.
See the one that's dressed well?
I'm gonna trim it a little first, so I know it'll fit in that bag. You rolling?
I'm rolling. You need me to hold the bag, or you got
No,
it?
I think it'll be all right. I'm just gonna gently trim it off a little bit.
I don't think she's up there because they really don't have a direction.
They're not doing anything.
They're not gathering up, so I think we've got her in the box. But we're going to snag these anyway, just in case.
Alrighty.
Just gently place them in the bag and roll the top shut, and you'll be good to go.
Man, that's like holding an electric motor right there. The way it's vibrating.
Go ahead and roll the bag shut.
I don't think their cousins are happy about this. Alright, that's got them.
There you go. Now if cops pull you over, just hand in that bag.
Yeah, that's it. Say, yeah, officer, this is why I'm in a hurry. I'm being chased. If you think I'm kidding, why don't you go stick your head in the back window, back door of that van?
What you got in the bag, boy?
It's contraband.
What about the rest of these? Are they just pretty much
They'll dissipate, won't they?
Yeah. They will go away. They'll probably gather up on a limb for a couple of days, but with the queen nowhere around.
Will they go back?
They got evicted.
She lives in San Clemente in that RV.
Okay.
She's a nurse and she just travels around.
Wow.
I lived in Riverside County for 5 years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know the area.
Back in the 80s, back when it was a real lot of fun to live in California.
Well, and to be honest with you, that's where I work, but that's why I don't work. California bullshit. I don't spend any more than 28 days at a time in the state, so I don't have to deal with California taxes or.
Right.
My office is here in Senate, so I don't.
Into the van.
This has got to be insane. I don't believe I'm doing this.
Into the van with a bunch of bees flying around. You better shut the door before you collect a few more.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be...
Let's see how many you got on the bottom there. You got a dozen or so on the bottom.
Well, hopefully once I get rolling down the road, they'll exit out the back window. Alright, well, it's probably a little noisy because I got all my windows and everything open. Just want to give you a look at this. This is probably something you don't see every day. There's a van with a beehive in the back. Yeah, and there's probably 100 or so of them loose in the van here, and I got my windows open, so hopefully I won't get stung too much on the way home. I got about an hour ride to get them to their new abode, so I'm getting ready to get on the freeway. I'll pick this back up when we get back to the house. All right, well, there's the hive in its spot. We I had some fun taking the thing out of the back of the van, and for the most part they're being pretty nice. But what I do have to do is empty what I brought home out of this bag, and they're not happy with that idea, but yep. What I want to make sure is that the queen isn't in there, but they're a little bit upset, so I'm going to let that go. I'll come back in a few minutes and see if they've decided to hover around that piece of the foliage right there, or if they're just PO'd. Yeah, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, well, got the camera set there. There'll be some shadows and whatnot. I can't change that. And what I got here is a little queen catcher, and I'm just gonna very gently look around and make sure. See, this swarm wasn't a very big one. It was maybe the size of a football, and but they'd been there for a little while, because I don't know if the camera's showing it or not, but they actually started to build. See it in there? They actually started to build comb already in there. And when Randy and I grabbed the swarm, he just held up the box, the body of the hive, while I grabbed the branch that this was hanging on and gave it a nice sharp tug, and 99% of that swarm of bees fell right into the hive. But the other bit was still attached to this little branch. So I went ahead and cut it off and brought it home in the paper bag that you saw. And I just want to make sure, taking a look through, that there's a small chance that we missed the queen, but I don't think so. She's not in there. Of course, the hive's sealed off right now because the girls are getting used to being in their new hive. But in a few days we'll open that up. But until then, all the others that we brought around, they're just kind of buzzing. Now they're not real happy with my visit, so we'll leave them be. Anyway, there's the hive, and on Saturday we'll open it up, and the girls will get to look around and see what's going on. Alright. Oh! Just want to thank Randy. helping me out with this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, well, I just pulled the tape off, and the girls came flooding out of there like you wouldn't believe. And they're being pretty nice. Of course, I'm not getting up much closer to the hive right now. They boiled out and went up about 10 or 15 feet in a big cluster, and now they seem to be coming back together and spending more time closer to the hive. So we put a little, that's a hummingbird feeder right there. It's got sugar water in it, and they seem to be finding that okay. Oops, sorry. They seem to be finding that okay. And thanks to the rain, there's plenty of water right in this area right now. But because of the cloudy day, I'm not monkeying with it. It's supposed to be pretty nice tomorrow and then the next day. So I'll get the entrance reducer in there a little bit later once they've calmed down. And then, let me see if we can get a little closer. Once they've calmed down a bit, every once in a while one of them's bouncing off me right now. They're not really being aggressive. They're just kind of saying, hey, what's going on here? This is not where we were. So we're just going to hope that the queen likes it there and keeps everybody home. And I'll bring you back when I open it up to do the next step.